The government shutdown is entering day 30. It is beginning to eat into the economy. Joining me now is Michigan Congresswoman Lisa McClain. She's the chairwoman of the House Republican Conference. Ms. Chairwoman, good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Do you have an update in terms of where we are in this shutdown?
It's wash, rinse, and repeat again. Unfortunately, the Democrats are still pretty dug in. I think you saw Senator Thune, Leader Thune, on the floor yesterday. He was rather irritated and upset. And I think this is the week that really the rubber meets the road for the Democrats, because this is the week where we go from talking about people missing paychecks and losing benefits to this is the week that it actually happens, where people actually miss their paycheck. I mean, 42 million Americans will not be able to get their SNAP benefits and put food on their table because of this Democratic shutdown. And I think this is when you're really going to see things start to loosen up and a lot more senators come to their senses and think, all right, enough is enough, right? You've had the air traffic controllers, you've had the unions, and you've had constituents say, hey, it's time to open up the government. And the unions, who are not necessarily Republicans, are beginning to put pressure on their Democratic leadership to say, hey, open the government. It's time.
Yeah. I agree with you that this is the week, and I've been calling it the choke point, because you've got TSA agents and air traffic control calling in sick. People are questioning whether or not it's even safe to fly. This is the easiest way to turn a government shutdown into an economic shutdown. Are you worried about the impact this is having on fourth quarter business for the economy?
Absolutely. I mean, I don't understand what the Democrats are trying to do here, right? First, it was a referendum. We're just going to fight Trump. Then it was, oh, the Epstein files. Now it's, health care. They don't even know what they want. And that's what's so frustrating. All they want is to be obstructionists. Do they not want Americans to prosper? Do they not want the economy to be fruitful? Do they not want people to be successful and happy? I mean, what is their goal? I understand that they may be bitter, but a lot of Americans, they're happy, and they understand that we live in the greatest nation. Come on, you guys, this doesn't make sense. You voted for it 13 times before. Schumer voted for a clean CR 29 times. They voted as recently as March for the same funding levels. This is politics, and you hear it. Catherine Clark, the #2 representative in the Democratic Party, said, yeah, I know there's going to be pain, but this is a good leverage point. A leverage point for whom, Maria?
Right. Yeah, no, you're right. It definitely does feel like they are mad that President Trump is doing so well. And they're not happy when they see him doing all these deals overseas, whether it's those Asian countries or Japan. And, of course, the big deal that they just announced with China, where Secretary Bessent just told me they're going to have a signed agreement as early as next week. But what are your thoughts on the next move once government reopens? For example, are you still talking about funding government until November 21st? That's what you all voted for in the House, but it seems really ridiculous to be funding government for 3 weeks. Are you now looking at the first quarter? What is the plan in terms of a clean continuing resolution, should you get some support from your colleagues on the left?
Yeah, you got to take a look at what's probable versus what's possible. And the probability is we will have to do either a short-term CR or a long-term CR right now. We still want to get the government funded. We were working, we passed 12 appropriation bills, et cetera, 3 off the floor. They were going to conference. Government was working how it was supposed to be working. If you were asking me my opinion with the tea leaves that I see, I think, if I'm a betting woman, that we'll see a continuing resolution go probably January, maybe 1st of February, but then we have got to get back to appropriations and do the work that we came here to do the work. And that is fund the government and do it the correct way, not with all of these CRs, but get back to appropriating like government should work.
Well, Anna Paulina Luna said she's hearing that you're not going back until around Thanksgiving. Could that be possible?
Anything's possible. My hope is that things break and that we bring everyone back so we can vote and get back
this week,
to, It probably won't be this week. I mean, it's Thursday, so I'm
Yeah.
looking at possibly next week. We're on a 48-hour notice, you know,
Okay.
but it all depends on when the Democrats decide to open the government.
Yeah. Well, I mean, all of this in the face, I mean, you've got this dereliction of duty. I mean, that's your job, your colleague's job, the Democrats' job to keep the train on the tracks. So you've got this dereliction of duty underway in the face of just lies. I mean, the House Oversight Committee released a report on the investigation into former President Biden and his use of the auto pen and this cover-up of his mental decline. The committee said that any executive action signed with that auto pen should be null and void. And that includes the pardons. It includes, regulations, executive orders. They're recommending the Justice Department look into whether Joe Biden even authorized any of them or knew what was going on. We also have a source telling Fox that there appears to be a focus in Delaware as well as in Washington for this, all at the time that we also are learning that there was a massive spy campaign underway for Biden's DOJ and FBI spying on many more senators than we thought, many more Republican groups than we expected. And AT&T and Verizon apparently just gave up all the information and had them track your colleagues' phone calls.
Yeah, it's pathetic, number one. But let's take the issue separately. It's more sad with what happened with Joe Biden and the people around him. I mean, just listen to what we're talking about.
Yeah.
We had a president with diminished mental capacity, and you had people around him taking advantage of that situation. That's pathetic. That's disgusting. That's unlawful. But most of all, I think that's sad. And yes, my hat off to Jamie Comer and the Oversight Committee, because those individuals need to be investigated. And if we find out that this is true, which I believe it is, they need to be held to the highest standard of the law, and there needs to be some sort of punishment. As it pertains to the other issue that you were talking about, subpoenaing phone records from members of Congress and the Senate and not even letting them know that this is happening. You want to talk about abuse of power. And what every American should be afraid of is if they're going to do that to a member of Congress, what are they going to do to the American people? This is a real problem. And again, it needs to be investigated and they need to be held accountable. And there needs to be swift and severe punishment for their actions if this is found out to be true, which I believe it will be.
All right. We will be watching all of that. Congresswoman, it's good to see you this morning. Thanks very much.
I have lost audio completely.
Lisa McClain, thank you very much.